Okay. And what's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we've got Faust here for the weekly pool this week. And right now, we're just waiting on Benny because Benny went off to do something, do some stuff, whatever it is that he's doing. He's not here, so
It's got victims, and we're not allowed to know about them.
that's exactly. He's got people tied up in this house. You be quiet. Shut up while I'm talking during the podcast. But anyway, I figured we'd just kind of shoot the shit with you guys for a little while before we actually went into this whole thing. But anyway, so what's been going on?
Not much in the world of comics. Like, there is no news.
It sucks, man. Like, I guess we could do this until like Sal's not feeling good. He said he may show up sometime during the podcast. He may not. If he jumps in, that's cool. If not, then that's cool too. So, what are my opinions on Deathstroke? See, this is the thing. Like every time something like this happens, I'm like, all right, guys, let's just kind of shoot this shit beforehand, and it just turns into like a big Q&A session. People are like, I have questions, and you have answers. Answer them, please. Benny is invisible. Benny is there. You just can't see him.
He gains superpowers, and he's just invisible and isn't making noise either. He could easily mute his microphone, but no, he's actually not making noise.
He's actually that quiet. Yeah, I think Sal's in cooldown mode after PAX, but it's all good. Anyway, comic book bros. There he is.
What's with the goatee? Are you
Yes.
blacking it up on me?
I am. Well, we're live right now, so
Are you serious?
are you blacking it up on me?
Okay, if we're really live, I do need to explain that to some extent.
You
Basically,
racist son of a bitch.
Rob and I had a joke that he's the whitest black guy I've
Oh,
ever met
man.
in my life.
You
So that was the
racist
joke.
ass.
Are you kidding? We're really live? Mm-hmm. Even Faust is like, oh my god.
This racist motherfucker. Rob, are you
That
blacking
wasn't
it
even a
up?
racist comment. Every one of the comments. Is Rob not the whitest black guy you've ever met in your life?
Oh, all the yeses are going to start rolling in a second. No, me and Faust told people, I guess Faust told people you were invisible, that you had superpowers that could make you invisible and nobody could hear you. And so we were like, yes, Benny's here.
Getting beef jerky and a drink.
Oh, man. But I figured, you know what, we'll just go ahead and just throw this on there. So
Throw what on there?
Apparently, I've killed Sal and I'm replacing him.
You are? Oh, well, okay, so... Oh no, what'd I do?
did you get juice everywhere?
No, I dropped my controller. It activated Resident Evil. I don't know why.
You can play Resident Evil during the podcast. Like what?
I should in the background. No, so guys, our incursions event has ended. We've now settled on who the survivors are, and just like the 616 universe is now merging with the Ultimate Universe, we've merged. It's super effective, and Marvel Explained and Comic Historian. And what ended up happening is TV Little House exploded. They're currently battling all of the members of Comic Book Cast. But since the 3 members of TV Little House plus the 2 extra members, Tiffany and Danielle, so 5 people from TV Little House don't outweigh the 30 people the Comic Book Cast has, I don't think they're going to win this battle. So we've already selected our replacement, which is Faust.
Yep. Done and done.
Racist
nice to have you on
historian,
board.
thanks. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm
That
sure
was
Benny will
great.
be sad about this transition, but
See,
all
look,
things change.
Heat Ray says, as a black guy myself, Rob is very white.
Yes,
See,
I am.
Rob and I
make no bones.
actually had this talk a few days ago, and I didn't realize we were live.
I make no bones about this. I am very much a white person, and I do not mind it.
Hey, if it helps, I'm the worst Scottish person ever. Most people don't realize I'm Scottish until I say it.
No, I thought you were always like English.
Tyler says he thinks I'm Mexican. I'm French Canadian. So
Are you for real? You're French Canadian?
I'm French Canadian. That's where my people herald down from those torrential lands of Canada.
No,
This
like
means
I'm
Variant are
mixed.
dead.
No,
Like
Variant is not dead. Variant has become the Beyonder, and in our next Secret Wars, he'll be the guy that directs everyone.
Yes, he will. And by directs everyone, we mean that he'll probably just start killing people. But
I'm just looking at the comment like, it's the hair that won the battle.
yes, it is. Ultimately.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm jealous of your hair. So I was in the military for 10 years, guys. I had a buzz cut. I've been trying to think of things to do with my hair. I did the spikes at first, but I'm like, that's so early 2000s, and now I feel old. So I'm trying to be like trendy, but it's not growing right, and it does some weird things, and it's just kind of So anyway, we're gonna go like this from this point on.
Did you just have an episode?
I had a flashback.
Okay. So, all right. So yesterday I think it was me and Benny were talking, and Benny had this really, really good idea about what it was that Marvel's doing. I don't know if you said if it was Marvel answering DC or DC answering Marvel, about Marvel releasing like all these stories and DC releasing like 40 stories during Convergence, like 2-issue stories. But I can't remember, which one did you say it was?
What? No, I said basically what it looks like. Okay, so here's my theory on the whole Convergence Secret Wars thing. Basically, my theory is that Marvel has had this in the tank for 4 years. DC has had this in the tank for 4 years, but Marvel had it planned. DC was like, we're going to do something with the multiverse and maybe a crisis. We don't know. And Marvel was like, Secret Wars, everyone's going to fight. And DC's like, oh, you're doing that in May? In April, we've got Convergence.
Okay.
And so the statement is, and Faust even knows about this, is that DC is supposedly kind of throwing continuity out the window. They're going to maintain the New 52 continuity, but what we're getting is they apparently just want to keep doing things like the Earth 1 series. They want to keep doing things like these weird what if storylines, and they don't want to worry about like the fact that Superman Unchained and Superman with the New Power kind of like are happening coincidingly. They want to get rid of those problems. Some stories will just be standalone stories that they don't care if they go into the main stuff. And it looks like Marvel is going in that same direction because it gets rid of the restrictions that Marvel has. The problem is DC will just tell a good story while Marvel will try their best and delay storylines so that all the timelines line up. Yeah. Oh, we can't do this big story that involves Spider-Man yet because he's tied up in Spider-Verse. DC would have just been like, we'll do them both, and you can guess what came first.
Okay. I thought it was. I couldn't remember if it was something like that or what, but I think that makes sense because, like, Marvel said that post like this new battle world is going to be the new Marvel universe post Secret Wars, but I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why you would have a universe that revolves around Killraven. That was a stupid story, and I don't understand why you would have a universe that is like a continuation of like Future Imperfect and things like that. I don't understand why some of those things would continue going. So I think that what they're going to do is they're going to have their big battle world. They're going to have all these universes, and then out of these universes will come like their whole, I guess, what's left. Like that will be the universe going forward after that. But I don't know. I mean, either way.
What do you think about this whole thing, Faust? We were talking about this before the show, so.
I mean, my whole thing with DC's situation is that like the main attraction for me with the DC universe is that it's this extended interweaving continuity, and for them to kind of just say, hey, we're getting rid of that is just a bit like, well, there goes the biggest pull for me. As much as I do love the characters and everything around that sort of continuity, I loved the fact that it was all connected, that I could kind of figure out, oh, Harley Quinn is happening after Suicide Squad, right? That makes sense, yeah. But now it's just kind of going to be a bit like, I mean, these are good stories, but this character shouldn't be there.
I think what they're trying to avoid right now is currently we have like 5 Batman books, and they like to try and pretend they're all happening at the same time. And I made a joke a long time ago that between 7 to 9 p.m., that's Batman and Robin, because that's before Damien's bedtime. And then, between 9 and 11, that's Detective Comics, because that's when Batman first goes off on his own and he's all by himself. Between 11 and 1, that's the Batman main story, because you got to think everyone on their own side, their own Batman stories, Nightwing, Red Hood, they're busy doing their own thing for the early parts of the hours, and it seems in the main Batman book is when they all pop in, so that would have to be in the middle of the night when everyone's done with their other storylines, and then it's like 1 to like 3, that's where Batman Superman happens. So, he kind of, after the 1 o'clock hits, he goes and he hangs out with Superman. Because Superman's waking up. It's early in the morning. That's kind of, Kryptonians, they don't sleep past midnight. It's a thing they do. I'm making this up as I go. So that's where they all hang out until about 3 a.m. Then, between 3 a.m. until, the middle of the next day, that's Justice League. Because if you notice, Justice League always seems to take place during the day. So, of course, that would be early morning, because that's also when Aquaman wakes up. Fish, they sleep between midnight to 6 a.m. So, another random made-up fact I just threw out there. So.
Yeah, fish don't sleep. I'm pretty sure fish don't sleep.
I'm pretty sure fish sleep, Rob.
I don't think
And
they
Batman
do.
just fuels his life on Red Bull and coffee.
No. Between like when everyone goes to get lunch at noon, he power naps.
It's like a 20-minute nap.
And then he's recharged and he goes right back to that Justice League battle. Any other cameos that he makes, like when he just showed up in Green Arrow, that happens during the day also. Now, I know in the book Green Arrow, it looks like it's happening at night. It's not, because during the night he's already preoccupied. So it must have happened during the day. It was just a very shaded area.
I really hope someone illustrates this.
Okay, so I had to look this up. The nature of fish sleep is an area of active research. While fish do not sleep in the same way that land mammals sleep, most fish do rest. Research shows that fish may reduce their activity and metabolism while remaining alert to danger. Some fish float in place, some wedge themselves, blah, blah, blah. I just talked about how they sleep. So they don't
I
sleep
know this
like
because
us.
I just did a list on sea creatures for the List Bomb channel.
Did you really?
Yeah. You know, there's a fish that has his eyeballs free floating in its head, and it just looks around where it needs to.
Really?
Yeah.
I just had the most gross sort of thing in my mind of just eyeballs in like a human skull floating around. And
I think that'd be awesome.
his skull is also see-through. It's like completely see-through. So like they're always looking up, but he can look them down or around and sideways. And
Wow.
the sea is fucking weird.
Oh, dude. Did you see that? There was a video about a grouper that ate a 4-foot-long shark while they were fishing it. Like, they were reeling it in, and then this grouper just comes out of nowhere and just eats it. And people were like, I hate the ocean. And this one guy's like, professional fisherman here. Or no, he was a sailor. He was like, sharks are one thing. He's like, groupers are a whole different beast. Like, I would never mess with groupers.
don't mess with the groupers.
But no, I don't know. I mean, I think that here's one of the things that I'm kind of worried about with what DC's going to do post-Convergence. I mean, they're shaking their lineup, they're changing some things up, but the question is, does it really even need to happen? Like, if DC had the New 52, they launched the New 52, and they said, okay, guys, this is going to be the continuity going forward, and this is going to be the continuity after Convergence. It's just going to be some other stories and stuff. What was the point of Convergence in the first place? I mean, it's not as though they're getting rid of the New 52 continuity entirely. Like, they're keeping it.
It's sales. It's strictly a marketing standpoint.
I guess.
That's exactly it. Because what's discovered, and even Marvel knows this, when you do a big event or you restart the universe, it boosts your sales. So promote Secret Wars as a restarting of the universe. Promote Convergence as a restarting of the universe. I mean, heck, every Crisis was promoted as a restarting of the universe, and Final Crisis didn't restart shit.
Yeah.
Final Crisis just kept going.
To be fair, Infinite Crisis and Final Crisis felt like the same fucking event from start to finish.
Like, so it's like, but those gave them views. It's gonna restart the event. We're gonna send Batman through time.
See, I don't like. I mean, I understand. See, this is kind of what, in a perfect world, DC wouldn't have even done Convergence. Like, there wouldn't have been any need for it. All they would have said is, okay, like, we're just going to introduce characters in different stories, whatever, and it would have been fine. Marvel needed, like, a New 52. Marvel needed to just be like, okay, guys, this is year 0. Just wipe the slate clean and start over. And that's what I would have done going forward if I ruled the world. But I don't. So, I don't know. And see, Marvel's even more confusing with what they're going to do post Secret Wars. Like, we don't know exactly how their universe is going to look. I mean, they may destroy some stuff, everything shakes up, and then after it's all said and done and we look inside and see what's going on, there may be, like 15 different realities as opposed to like 50 when the Secret Wars, event initially started. I don't know, but either way, like, it's a convoluted mess, like, looking at it leading up. Like, it's just a total nightmare, on the outside looking in. But I think that once we get into it, it'll probably become a whole lot easier. But until then, like, my God, like, they have made it ridiculous.
Well, and they're doing it on purpose, too. As a matter of fact, you and I were talking about it yesterday, and my original plan going out was I would have a new video for Convergence and Secret Wars every day. Mm-hmm. But that's 40 videos just for Convergence in a month. Look at Faust's face.
Yeah.
That's just Convergence. Now trying to do the 30 or so for Secret Wars. Guys, let's ask the audience. Would you enjoy 70 plus videos for me and Comics Explained for an entire month? 70 videos. That's double the videos in a day. Yeah.
Like, that'd be nuts.
I'll tell you right now, at the end of that, I'm going back on break.
Oh, yeah. Once that ends, shit, man, I'm going to Hawaii for a week.
You do know there's only 24 hours in a day, right? Just making sure you're aware of that. Because that is
life. I just read comics.
I mean, it would be absolutely crazy. I mean, one video a day, that's 40 days straight of DC's Convergence. All right. And that's assuming, see, the problem with that is that's assuming they release like one right after the other. Like they have a story for us to do every single day. That may not be the case. I mean, if they're going to be 2-issue stories, but you have issues...
April's going to be pretty empty, but May is when everything's going to come out at the same time. So I think Secret Wars is 2-issue stories. Convergence will be ending that whole month. So it's like 10 stories ending a week. So you have 10 to do every week. Like just 10 videos.
That's I guess it would be Monday through Friday, but I don't know. I mean,
Faust.
God, that makes my head hurt.
Hold on, Faust. You need to do a history of every one of the stories every day.
Oh God. I mean, like, and that's the problem with Secret Wars, because if they say, okay, guys, like here's Secret Wars, we don't know how long the issues are going to be. We know that DC is doing 2 issues per 40 release, per 40 topic release or whatever it is. All right. What we don't know is with Marvel, are they going to do the same thing? Like, is Future Imperfect going to be 2 issues, or is it going to be like 5 issues or something like that? Like that's
true.
That's a lot of crap to cram in. I think that if DC says we're going to do 40, let's say realities for the sake of discussion, 40 stories, and each of those stories is going to be 2 issues long, that's simple for DC. We're like, okay, cool, we can just, cover that and, done and done. If Marvel's like, well, like Future Imperfect's going to be 5 issues, and then, Days of Future Past is going to be, or I guess Years of Future Past is going to be like 2, 3, maybe 4 issues, and it's just like, oh my God. And knowing Marvel, they'll probably do that.
You know what? I can already see it's going to happen, knowing Marvel. Like it's going to be all over the place. But initially, they'll all be 1 issue, and like Spider-Gwen. And if it does well, there will be a 10-issue follow-up immediately shoehorned in there,
just crammed in there. I don't know. I mean, that's confusing. That's going to be a nightmare. Regardless of how it turns out, it's going to be absolutely insane.
And if Kamala's book does really well, they're going to somehow shoehorn a Young Avengers Runaway title in there as well. Because in every fucking event where there's some interest around teen heroes, they suddenly come out with, oh, we're doing Young Avengers and Runaways too.
Oh, God.
Well, didn't they already announce the return of Runaways? Someone was saying that. I hadn't heard it myself.
Yes, they announced the return of Runaways, and nobody cares but Marvel.
Look at your facial expressions are the best, Faust.
When did they announce this?
It was supposed to be announced today. Like they're supposed to have like a section for Battle World that's supposed to feature not necessarily, it's not going to be like the Runaways title, like Runaways #1, but it's supposed to bring the Runaways back into the Marvel landscape, which I don't care. I never cared about the Runaways. Like they were never important.
Faust loves the Runaways. How can you be against the Runaways? Why do you hate the Runaways?
How I fuse my anime bullshit into my comic books, and I love it.
You know what the Runaways are? The Runaways are the children of characters that people loved as a way to try to see if people would like the idea of the children of villains. And it was kind of dumb, I thought. Like,
just overall, you think it was a dumb idea?
I think it was dumb. Not only that, Faust, I think people who like the Runaways are dumb too.
The war has begun. Round 2 of the podcast with cousins.
Yeah, but anime bullshit. You've got to love anime bullshit.
It was drawn up to look like anime, and it wasn't. They weren't the worst stories ever told. It's just I always kind of felt like the Runaways had their decent run. They had their decent time. But by the time it got around to the point when the Runaways served any real purpose for me in terms of comic books, I was getting into Civil War and stuff like that. And the Runaways were just kind of shoved in there. Like Age of Ultron, they were just kind of shoved in there. And I was like, why are we talking about the Runaways being in San Francisco when they're not really having anything to do with the Registration Act? They're just kind of like, man, guys, like, this kind of sucks. Like, yeah, we're shopping and enjoying life, but, the Registration Act kind of sucks too. I didn't really care about that much.
Yeah, I will admit, like, that was a huge missed opportunity for the Young Avengers. Like, I would have preferred just a Young Avengers title in Civil War as opposed to like a Young Avengers Runaway title, because it just had nothing to do with anything. And then Hulkling suddenly became important at the last minute of Civil War. And it's like, where was the build-up? Where was the build-up to that?
That's what I didn't get. Like, they had this awesome idea. I mean, having the Young Avengers was a chance to give them legitimacy in Civil War. And instead, all that happens is the Young Avengers are taken by S.H.I.E.L.D. forces. Captain America's first strike is to free the Young Avengers, and then they just don't do anything for the rest of Civil War. It sucked.
See, that's my problem with a lot of times with what happens to Marvel. I mean, I love Marvel and DC, but they just did a lot of that same kind of like, they'll set up stuff that doesn't matter. And that was like Spider-Verse just did that. There's so many red herring plot lines in that one.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. I hated Spider-Verse.
I like Spider-Verse is great.
I'm still getting over that Spider-Woman's already been cancelled.
I mean, did that surprise anybody?
It surprised me because I had bets with friends and I've just lost £50.
Oh, really? That sucks.
I bet that would last at least 10 issues.
You bet money on the success of Spider-Woman? Like, that's crazy.
Because I like the character. I'm never gonna bet money on her again.
Well, see, the problem is that Spider-Woman has never, she's never gained any real ground in popularity with Marvel Comics. I mean, she did in the early days when she first popped up. People were like, oh, hey, like a female Spider-Man. This is kind of intriguing. And then within 10 issues, people were just kind of like, meh, whatever. And nobody really cared about it. And her character just never recovered. Like when they introduced Julia Carpenter, I think, in Secret Wars, people were just like, why is she here? And here's literally the explanation Marvel gave. When Julia Carpenter showed up in Secret Wars, like the characters asked, like, how did you get here? Like, you weren't here with us, so how are you here? And she was like, well, when the Beyonder made Battle World, like he tore out chunks of like different planets, and one of them happened to be like Denver from the planet Earth, and I was there when that happened, and that's why I'm here now. And people were like, for real? That was the explanation.
The problem with Jessica Drew is she's got a lot of character development, but she's never got any real, she's always been like, check it out, we got a really skin-tight girl, and she's got a really skin-tight outfit, to the point where they made fun of it in the latest issue, her outfit, and she's just Spider-Woman. That's it. Like, as many times as they tried to make her relevant, like you said, they never did. I mean, even in the most recent Avengers Assembled run, she had like a core role and did nothing.
Yeah, she has sort of, because when I think of her, I always tend to have a bit of a nostalgia bomb and think of her first run where her book was just fucking weird. But I will admit, like, in like the past sort of 10, 20 years, she has just consistently been, my tits are too big for this comic.
I mean, yeah, like it was the same thing with like Emma Frost was a good example. Like every time you ever saw Emma Frost in the comics, her boobs were just hanging out. And there was this hilarious article.
Emma Frost, put your boobs away.
Yeah, Emma Frost, put your boobs away. That was the name of this article that this chick wrote, where she was just like, why do her boobs have to hang out all the time? And I was like, because boys love that, and they're going to go buy the comics with the X-Men to see it. Like, that's why. It's not rocket science. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, like just looking at some of the stories that Marvel's doing, like EX4 Extinction. EX4 Extinction was Grant Morrison's quick run in X-Men, where he had Cassandra Nova kill off 16 million mutants and leave Genosha in a state of total desolation. That was it. Like, there's nothing to continue from there. And so I don't know if they're going to rewrite that story, and then they're going to come back and say, okay, now this is a universe in and of itself. I mean, I don't understand how you would bring that into Secret Wars. The only way I can think of it is if you were going to rewrite it. And that's what it is with a lot of those stories, like Planet Hulk. I mean, these aren't stories that branched off to create what-if stories. They're just self-contained stories. There's no what if Cassandra Nova didn't destroy Genosha. That doesn't exist. And nobody would read it if it did. And so I have no idea where they're going to go with that entire concept. But regardless of what they do, I am incredibly curious to see what happens.
I'm just reading the comments here, and they're all quoting Faust.
Yeah.
My tits are too big. Super effective. 2K15.
Emma Frost boobies.
Mega boobs. Why don't we just have the whole podcast talking about boobs in comics?
I mean, like just talk about boobs, I guess.
So about them boobs.
I love how all the comments at the moment are just boobs. Where's Sal? And Faust said boobs.
Just boobs.
Emma Frost, love Emma Frost's boobs. Emma Frost, rad boobs.
I don't know.
Okay, moving on the topic of Emma Frost's boobs.
Moving forward a little bit.
Well, talking about degenerating, like, how come whenever we don't have a core topic to talk about, like, it boils down to haggis or Emma Frost's boobs? I don't.
Oh yeah, haggis, man. Like, okay.
No, I have a topic, though, because someone brought it up, and I don't think we've ever discussed it.
Okay.
Deadpool's dying.
We have not talked about that because the story hasn't been released yet.
No, but it's leading up to it. He's the sad clown, and they keep messing with him.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that reads current Deadpool, but right now, pretty much like he's messing his life up.
But see, like, I don't even know where this is going to fit in either, because remember, during Secret Wars, they're going to have Deadpool's Secret War.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how he dies. He dies to go to the Secret War.
I guess. Like, that's what they're calling it. Like, they were trying to figure out what they were going to do with Deadpool. They were like, do we get him into Secret Wars? And people were like, nope, because we saw the Deadpool Corps in Deadpool versus Deadpool. Like, we know all the Deadpools that are out there. And, like, most all of them died when they were killed by evil Deadpool. But now they're saying, like, during Secret Wars, Deadpool's going to have his own event called Deadpool Secret War. So I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Well, I mean, following up with Deadpool, and I know Faust isn't a huge Deadpool fan, so I'm not going to pry into that, but I've been following him for a while, and they just out of the blue said, yeah, we're going to kill him, but the fans are going to love it, and it's a part of the story. I don't think he's really going to die. Like,
no.
Isn't it dated to happen on April 1st or something?
Yeah, like they're saying how he's gonna die, and they've been setting up for a while, which they have. They gave him a wife, which died. They gave him a kid, which he's trying to take care of. They're trying to give him like a stable life. He's married to Dracula's bride right now, and it's just he's not supposed to be happy. And
they're trying to give him a stable life. He's married to Dracula's bride. Just think
it's
about
Deadpool.
That
Leave that alone. But what I'm saying is, like, they keep promoting Deadpool's gonna die, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be great. It's for the story. It's the eventuality as to what we've been doing to him. And I'm like, yeah, you might kill him. But no one has ever said Deadpool's going to stay dead. They've killed the Deadpool before at the end of the last run, the jokey run. He died. He, like, died, and we discovered that he had, like, this little sliver of healing factor left, so he would come back in a few months.
Yeah.
But he was killed at the end of that. So that's kind of where I think we're going with the death of Deadpool. I think it's going to go in a direction of he's going to die. He is. But we all know Deadpool can't die, like, permanently. So...
Yeah.
To be fair, most comic book characters can't die.
Yeah,
they all come back.
Or he is going to die, and he's just going to come back in Secret Wars, a different universe Deadpool. Because, yeah, most of the Deadpool Corps did kill off Deadpools, but there are a bunch remaining, you know, and there's no guarantee that was all of them. So it could... Because, I mean, we're all expecting Wolverine to come back following the Secret Wars with a new universe or whatever, and maybe Deadpool's just going to die just before it. And they were like, oh, fuck it, we'll just kill him off right before the event happens, and he'll come back at the event.
Yeah, I mean post-Secret Wars, I'm expecting Wolverine to be back, Cyclops back to normal, Jean Grey back.
We need him back to normal so bad. Yeah, I am so tired of, I'm Cyclops.
Xavier back.
He's back now, kind of.
Is he? I'm behind on X-Men comics, so...
Oh, the last issue to resolve the latest thing without revealing the whole plot, they went back in time, grabbed a young Professor Xavier, brought him back to the present. And so he was there doing stuff, and they brought him back to his time period, and he's supposed to wipe his own memories out. But, like, I don't think he's going to. I think, yeah.
Okay, so kind of back.
You have the knowledge of the future, but here, I trust you to just forget all that.
I mean, that's, you know, I don't... Somebody said Jim Lee's Deadpool. I don't know. I might actually read a story about Deadpool by Jim Lee. But, no, I don't know. I mean, Deadpool, I think we can all pretty much agree, is probably Marvel's most popular character. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be. Like anything Deadpool #1 is going to sell more than anything else. Because people are just like, oh God, a new Deadpool story. And they're going to run out and they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
But it would be an incredibly stupid move, even for Marvel, to kill off their most popular character. Wolverine, it was time for him to die. Like, everybody knew it was time for Wolverine to go. Even the most diehard Wolverine fans were like, okay, guys, look, like, he just needs to go.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's just get rid of him. But Deadpool, I mean, he's a great break from the monotony of Marvel Comics. And so, to me, it made perfect sense that if they were going to kill him off, they would have to bring him back. And so maybe that's what they're going to do. But
the problem with Deadpool is I don't think Deadpool's story's been completely done. He's been around for a while, and everyone has talked about him, but majority of the time his story is, look at how goofy he can be, and like there's been no development, there's been nothing else. He's just the goofy guy who flips sides, ha ha ha. And only recently have we really started to get development on his character, which we haven't had since Cable Deadpool, like way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I kind of dislike Deadpool, because there's a way to progress a character along with showing how funny they can be. And like, I'm a comedy writer myself, so every time I read it, I'm like, yeah, I can admit, like, I can see why people would find this funny, but where's the character?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like Deadpool at all.
Well, that's why, like, a lot of people, you know, who don't like Deadpool will have your same opinion. They'll say, look, this is not necessarily the comedy of Deadpool that's bad. It's the fact that this Deadpool is the same Deadpool since Joe Kelly's run in, like, 1990, whatever it was, 1995 or 96 or something like that. Like, it's been the same character this whole time. He's never changed.
Yeah.
And that's the
well,
problem.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you on that. I 100% do, because even Wolverine adapted and changed. You know, he became more caring. He got to run a school. His character developed and evolved. And while he did show up in every comic book known to mankind, he still developed and evolved. And Deadpool has only recently started to get real character again.
Yeah. See, people are asking where Cable is. I don't know. The last I knew about Cable, he had gone into the future with Hope Summers in order to raise her, and then I think he died, and then that's it. I don't remember where Deadpool or where Cable is or what Cable's been doing. I have no
Does anyone know or care?
He came back to the past, and in Marvel now, Hope Summers found him once, and he was like, "Oh, I'm watching over you," and then that's it.
What was that? I'm watching over you.
That sucks.
Is he a ghost?
What a shitty explanation.
He might as well fucking be. He's just like kind of stalkerly watching his adoptive daughter from a distance.
Well, but see, this is why I say Marvel needs to okay. Name me characters. Give me 10 characters in Marvel Comics, or even then, give me 5 characters in Marvel Comics that have been around since their entire like when their continuity first started, before the 90s, all right? That have been around since the 1990s and who are better now than they were then.
Nobody?
Not a single person. You can't. There's no argument there. Some people may say, "Well, Iron Man because he's more crazy now."
No, I got one for you.
Who?
The better person is Nova, because nobody liked Richard Rider.
Oh, dude,
I want to see the hate come flying off of that one.
This thing's gonna have like a 75 to 25% dislike to like ratio. I sort of.
Wait,
I'm gonna hate this.
Faust. If you have to pick Richard Rider or Nova, or Sam Alexander, who are you going with? I never
really
think
there's a
young
question
superheroes.
Like, I have to pick one. Can I just say neither? But that's the problem that Marvel has. Like, that's why New 52 was such a great idea. Like, Marvel has this, like, people are just burned out on the same old shit. Like, that's just the way it is. Like Spider-Man now was Spider-Man 20 years ago. Sure, the stories are a little bit different, and they try to shake things up with one more day. And Straczynski was like, hey, look, guys, like, they told me to do that. Like, you know, don't blame me. You know, and it just all kind of went to the tank. Like, the Fantastic Four is the same old thing, and so on and so forth. People want new stuff. And that's what they tried to do with, like, Cyclops and the X-Men. They were like, well, let's make Cyclops a dick. And people were just like, nah. No. People were like, this is absolute garbage. And it was.
There was a comment in here, actually, real quick about the Deadpool. We can go right back to what you're saying. But they did bring up one thing I forgot. Rick Remender's Deadpool in X-Force. He had a lot of growth where he got to know Kid Apocalypse and stuff.
Yes, he did. That was really cool. Because it helps it, yeah.
Oh, look at all the hate. Richard Rider's horrible, guys. Why do you think they killed him in the Guardians of the Galaxy in like a one-page? Oh, no, Richard Rider. Oh, where did he go? He sacrificed himself.
Spider-Man is made of haggis. But no, that's the problem that Marvel has, is it's the same old. That's the problem. Like, I think that's why a lot of people are looking at Secret Wars and they're saying, like, okay, you know, but at the same time they're a little hesitant too, because they're like, once this is all over, they're not rebooting anything. They're not giving us new characters. They're just continuing on with what they have. And people are just kind of like, all right.
Well, no, they're not continuing on. They are rebooting. Like they've definitively said they are rebooting. But you are right. We're not getting like new people. We're not getting We're not getting a new Avengers with all new people in it. No, it'll be Avengers with Captain America and Iron Man. It'll probably be closer to the movie Avengers now. You know,
yeah, probably.
All the characters are going to start matching their movie counterparts. We all know that's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say if they really wanted to do the evil Cyclops thing or just have a core X-Men member that everyone recognizes become evil, they should have done it with one of sort of like the lesser ones, like Rogue or something. Because, yeah, she started out as evil, make her evil again, but this time make her fucking mentally damaged from the Phoenix and then see what fucking happens. That would have been interesting, but evil Cyclops is just a bit like, well, give him a hook and he could be a pirate.
Basically.
But see, the problem is with evil Cyclops, and I think this is where the issue with evil Cyclops has come in, is he's not really evil. It felt to me like they're like, okay, we're going to change things up. We're going to make Cyclops kind of a bad guy, but we don't want to go full-on bad guy. So he's going with his direction and his purpose. But we don't want to full-on make him, like, evil, because then we'll get too much hate. So like, that's what it felt like to me. So it's like, oh, he's evil, and he's against everything everyone believes, but he's following what he thinks Professor Xavier's philosophy is. You know, it's like, what the... It's funny because even in the latest Uncanny X-Men, that's how it ended. Like, the time-traveling girl shows up, and she goes to Cyclops, and she's like, fix your shit. Like, that's basically what she says. And he's like, excuse me? And she's like, fix it, or I'm going to wipe you from existence. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you can't talk to me like that. And she's like, you're going to fix it, or I'm going to wipe you from existence. And he's like, is that a threat? She's like, yes, fix your shit. Like, it's like, what the hell?
I mean, wow, somebody asked a really good question. Do we think that they're going to be killing off the Incredible Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he's not listed for Civil War? Well, there's other guys who aren't listed for Civil, like Thor's not listed for Civil War, I don't think, and there's a handful of people who aren't listed for Civil War. Which
Hulk's expensive. That's why.
Yeah, he's very expensive.
That's why he gets such little screen time, and it's also why they've debated not doing another movie with him and why he's not on any... It has nothing to do with the fact that the last Hulk movie was horrible. It's because
sir.
What?
No,
but
the last Hulk movie was not terrible.
No, I'm saying, no, I liked the Edward Norton one, but a lot of people like to just, it's not really in the cinematic universe, that kind of an attitude.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying, though, is it has nothing to do with that, because a lot of people are like, oh, they're delaying on Hulk because the last one was so bad, they want to separate. No, it's because doing a Hulk movie, you either have a very boring Bruce Banner story that no one's really going to watch, or you spend an arm and a leg to get the Hulk in there. Yeah. Or you just do a Captain America story. I mean, like...
That's true. I mean, that's really all there is to it. I mean, you got a 10-foot tall green guy who's made completely out of special effects.
Right, and you have to do massive destruction everywhere he goes. You know, you can't just have big, tall green guy with special effects just standing there. As a matter of, I mean, how much screen time did he even get in Avengers? Like, it was actually like they removed him almost immediately, so they wouldn't have to use him.
Well, it wasn't until halfway through that he turned into the Hulk.
That's what I mean. Like, it was just removed from the whole equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that is kind of interesting. No, I don't think they're going to kill him off, but I mean, I think it's going to be... It'll be interesting to see how that Civil War story unfolds. But nonetheless, that's what I'm... And I guess the same kind of thing, you know, going back to what we were saying before, the same thing could be applied to DC in the sense that with the New 52 continuity, like, they're continuing a lot of the characters, but the more I read DC comics, especially with the New 52, the more I'm actually leaning a little more towards DC than Marvel. And I know people are going to give me shit about that. But,
I'm going to give you shit for that.
But no, I mean...
Screw everyone else! I'm giving you shit.
I mean, okay, like look at the new Inhuman run in Marvel Comics, all right? Like, it's done. Like, the new Inhuman run is... Okay, here's the new Inhuman run, summed up in, like, 10 seconds. All right, Black Bolt's been missing due to an event that has something to do with the incursions. We don't know what it is. We don't find out until halfway through that he was taken by Maximus the Mad. He was put under mind control, and he was basically sitting, like, a mile away from New Attilan while... I guess Medusa was dealing with having people trying to usurp her throne. While all this is going on, the Inhumans are starting to wake up as a result of the Terrigen Mist, and so basically we're dealing with like teenagers learning how to be Inhumans. This is like the X-Men, basically. Is what
they're trying to make them into the X-Men. That's the point.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is,
I think it has two problems. First off, there's the whole running theory that they can't get the X-Men, so they're trying to make new X-Men, basically, right? But I think the second factor is they've tarnished the name of the X-Men amongst comic book fans. Mm-hmm. Most of us look at it as, oh, stupid freaking Cyclops, and you kill Wolverine, and Professor X is dead, and Rogue is now some teacher girl who's no issues at all, and where the fuck is Gambit? Does anyone even know? Like, Nightcrawler's dead.
To be honest, let's be honest here. Gambit hasn't done anything since the 90s. So when people tell me Gambit's my favorite member of the X-Men, I always just go, when did you stop reading comics?
No. Okay. The last important thing that Gambit did was like astonishing. No, it wasn't astonishing. It was X-Men Volume 2, issue 180 something. When Apocalypse shows up and he was like, "Hey guys, I know that like the entire population of mutants has been decimated. There's only like a handful of you left, but like if you guys drink my blood, you'll get powers." And then you'll rise to prominence again. And Gambit's like, I'll be a horseman of Apocalypse. And so Apocalypse is like, welcome on board. And Gambit's like, cool. He subjects him to like,
pat him on the back. Good to have you on the team, buddy.
It's like that weird ass scene where like Voldemort hugs Malfoy, you know, and Gambit's like, all right, like I'm a horseman of Apocalypse now. And then like at the very end of the whole thing, Gambit and Ozymandias, like they turn on Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is like, what are you doing? And Gambit's like, I've been playing you the whole time. I was just pretending to be a horseman so I could defeat you. And I'm like, what?
Well,
what is this?
Here's the kicker. You guys are all like, isn't anything important? Did all of you forget that he had a really awesome comic run of like 12 issues like 2 years ago? He was a secret agent, and he did like it was like really cool.
Yeah,
but no,
I remember that.
But you are right, and I think what they're doing with that is they've tarnished the name so much that they're doing this. Remember that X-Men from the '90s that you all love and you actually liked? We're trying that again with this comic. They tried it with all new X-Men, and they made it way too convoluted, way too fast. So no one cares anymore. So they're trying it one more time, and I think that's the point of the Inhumans. While they're trying to revive the X-Men as a actual property that sells comics, they're going to do the Inhumans. They're going to make them the new X-Men.
Yeah.
Just wait for Black Bolt to show up, pull his hood off, reveal that he's bald, and be like, actually, I can talk, and I'm telepathic, and I'm crippled. And he falls to the ground.
I won't rest until Jubilee gets her powers back and Dazzler gets her own comic again.
I don't understand. Okay, we talked about this. Like, you were gone at the time, Benny. Me and Faust talked about this, and I don't understand Faust's love for Dazzler or Jubilee. One can make fireworks, and the other can make less impressive fireworks.
No, no, people don't understand Jubilee's powers. Jubilee can make explosions, and she can control how big they are. If she wanted to, she could make an atomic-sized explosion. It's her personality that holds her back.
That was a speculation at the hands of Emma Frost, who said she has the potential to detonate matter on a subatomic level. She never did. She made fireworks, and she's
a fireworks.
She was a really cool person for the 4th of July. And besides that, like, you know.
Yeah, but if you're ever at a Skrillex concert and Jubilee is there, you're going to be really happy.
You would be really happy. Jubilee, do your thing.
When the bass drops, Jubilee be like.
You know who my favorite X-Men of all time is? Because he doesn't exist outside of like a very small medias. Morph. Most useless guy ever.
I mean, he was a cool character until they killed him in the first episode.
You just have the thanks to you, Faust. I just have these images of the X-Men in the back of a Skrillex concert and just Jubilee like, yeah.
I want to see that so bad. Like Marvel, if you're watching this, X-Men '92. All right, I want to see early '90s dubstep, and I want to see Jubilee like raving her ass off.
But then, what I'm gonna laugh about is if they try making Jubilee interesting and have her make subatomic explosions in X-Men '92. I'm gonna be like, I told everyone, Jubilee's fucking interesting.
See, people are giving me
shit. Dude, don't you like her
because
as a vampire?
People are like, Rob, you turned your back on Marvel, and I'm like, not really.
You did.
You turned your back on Marvel.
Hey guys, just so you know, I know Rob turned his back on Marvel, but Faust and I are launching the real Marvel Explained, and
that was cool.
It'll be funny. Don't worry, guys. It'll be nothing but Marvel explanations, and we're going to talk about them for an hour at a time. You've got time in your hands, right?
Yeah, loads. I've got like 2 minutes a day.
Well, you're not utilizing that to the best of its potential, so.
I don't need to sleep. Screw sleep.
See, like this guy says, someone in the chat just had the shocking realization that your comics explained. Imagine that. Comics explained. Imagine. It's almost as if, like, I explain more than just Marvel Comics. It's crazy.
To be fair, at least your channel name has something to do with comics. Mine's called It's Super Effective, and that's a fucking Pokemon reference. I've never talked about Pokemon.
I love how you throw those things in there. Like, this character did this, and the writer did this because, and it's super effective.
Everyone's like, you turned us on Rob. Yeah, Benny, yes, do it. Can't wait. Faust, we've got a plan here. I think it'll be a hit.
He didn't turn his back. People are like standing up for me, like, no, like I can imagine this. People are typing like, no, you have to believe, like Rob loves us.
What I love about this though is especially, and this is Rob, you have white knights. Like the girls, the hot girls that get the white knights trying to protect them, they're trying to protect you, Rob.
Yes, I am their maiden.
They deserve a nice butt shot with you in a thong, just to make up for the whole thing.
I am the maiden of my white knights. I am the damsel in distress.
And then you're going to be put onto a white horse and have a long blonde wig on, covering your private bits.
It'll be like private bits. It'll be like South Park. Kenny puts on the whole dress and he's the fairy, the magical princess.
God, man, it would be like that scene from Tombstone where what's her name's riding the horse. Did you guys ever see that? There's a scene where Kurt Russell and the chick are riding the horse, and they go to turn a corner, and you can see like the third leg because she's supposed to be riding saddle side, but she's got both legs hanging over, and so you can see both her legs on the side and the third leg hanging off, and it looks terrible. But,
I was just referencing Lady Godiva.
Oh.
For the record, guys who are joining us late, just you want to know what today's topic is. There really isn't one. We're just talking about comic books in general. Nothing's really happened. We're just kind of waiting for Convergence and Secret Wars to start up. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are asking, Sal is sick today. We did not kill him.
What do I think about Age of Ultron versus Marvel? Okay, that's a really good one, guys.
What? Marvel Zombies? They're going to eat Age of Ultron.
Well, no, what DC said, like I went, or not Marvel, what Marvel said is I went back and watched her thing, and they said that the Age of Ultron versus the Marvel Zombies are going to be like two opposite, like they're going to be two different universes, but I assume they're going to come into conflict at some point along the line. But that introduces a cool concept. What would happen? Like, could anything happen to Ultron? I mean, he's just a source of energy and metal. So could they?
What if he becomes a zombie Ultron and now has the ability to just turn everyone into zombie Ultrons?
See, that would be my question. Like, just make zombie Ultrons. Like, how badass would that be? Just like zombie Ultrons flying around.
We could do it. Zombie Ultrons.
I mean, that'd be pretty badass.
Marvel, make it happen.
Make it happen. Do it now.
Princess Kenny. See, everyone knows what I was talking about.
Princess Kenny?
That's
I don't remember Princess Kenny.
Oh, and you play the South Park video game.
Yeah. I've seen so many Let's Plays of that game. It never gets old.
Like the South Park video game, like for the N64 or the Stick of Truth?
No, Stick of Truth, dude. That game was so much better than everyone thought it was going to be.
I haven't played it. Like, I never played it.
And this is why you fail at life, Rob.
I guess, man. I guess.
But I mean that in a loving way.
First turning your back on Marvel, now you haven't played Stick of Truth.
What do you do with your time, Rob?
I just sit around reading comics and stuff. I mean, it's weird.
You know what I've been reading lately? Why the Last Man. I'm trying to find indie books I want to do.
Oh, okay.
I gotta squash that because you're gonna. I don't want you to do it first.
Really?
Now that your comics explained.
Oh God, man! I gotta beat Rob to the punch on indie comics.
I want to do something on sex criminals, but I think it's like every blog and everyone has done something on sex criminals other than the people I actually talk to.
I was looking into doing sex criminals, but the style in which I do my videos, I do not think I could get away with doing sex criminals with a lot of blurriness.
See, just by listening to the title, I would think that it'd have a lot of like adult-oriented content, and so like that's certainly not something I'd bring to my channel.
Oh, it'll most likely be one of my highest performing videos because it says sex criminals. It'll probably have like everyone drops off after the first minute and they're like, "Oh, it's an indie book."
Well, I mean, when you're like, we're going to be blurring out like the scenes of nudity, people are like, "Man, fuck that noise." And
I wanted to see boobies, comic historian. Show me the boobies.
I think like my 5th most viewed video is called "On Starfire Sexuality," and it's got like a picture of Starfire's tits in the thumbnail.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, Faust. When we were kind of like researching who we wanted to bring into the weekly poll, that's the first video of yours I watched.
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Oh, he's a chosen guy who brings up really good points. Let's see what else he can do." And then I immediately went to all your video game videos, and I was like, "Well, he does video game history, so."
I haven't done that in like a year.
I know. I loved that comment you put on the Watch Mojo thing about that. I haven't done this for. Where did you even get this?
It's like they really just kept scrolling, going, what did he do like a year ago?
Oh my God. People just keep posting up about boobs and about PewDiePie, and I don't understand why.
PewDiePie is because it was on South Park. Boobs is because it's boobs.
Oh, I didn't know PewDiePie was on South Park.
At least they're not talking about like PewDiePie's boobs.
Well, they are now.
They're about to, Faust.
They're about to. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for saying that shit. You're gonna start posting it up everywhere.
Witches is on the Comic Story and Play, and I am trying to convince Rob to do it. I want to see a Marvel Comics Explained version of it.
Of what?
Witches, Scott Snyder's Witches.
Huh.
It's really good.
I've still never actually like sat down and read that. Like I just now got my hands on Saga.
Wasn't there like a Sabrina comic a few months ago?
I did a joking read of an Archie comic, which you can find on the channel, and I read the story, and it was the story of Archie and Sabrina teaming up, and the entire Archie crew gets turned into animals, and it's all because of Sabrina's cat, Salem. So what ends up happening is they have to team up with Salem to go find Sabrina to reverse the spell, and like Archie, I think, is like a dog, and like, what's his name, the guy with the hat, Jughead, he's like a giraffe. It was so weird.
See, I didn't find out that Sabrina was a comic until well after the show had finished, and then I read the comic and was like, this is not like the TV show at all. I kind of feel betrayed.
See, people are putting like all these variations of PewDiePie and boobs in ways. PewDiePie boobs explains.
Here's a good question, guys. Yeah, you know what? Let's turn this into a pseudo Q&A while we do this, because we've kind of run out of our hot topics. So there isn't any. Like I said, guys, we don't have any hot topics. But the thing is, like, I took the last 2 weeks off. Rob took off the week before that off. So we were kind of like, well, we can't just not do a podcast again. Plus, Faust was available, which is not a normal thing. So
Yeah.
we got
Every Tuesday, I have nothing to do now, so
Well, then every Tuesday you'll be here.
okay.
But no, someone asked what comic would we want to see be turned into a TV show?
Oh, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. You know what that would be? You know what that would be? That would be some like college girl. Like, all right, here's what would happen. Like, the way the story would, like, the show would open up, like, it'd be like the first episode, like, she's in class, she's taking a math test, and she's just like freaking out, like, oh my God, I don't know if I can pass this. And like, she's panicking, and then she, you know, the bell rings, and then she's out of there. She's like, all right. Then she goes and sits under a tree. And then she was like, come talk to me, my little friends. And like, the little squirrels just like come running down the tree and run up on her. She starts doing that little like squirrel chirp or whatever it is, you know, and just starts talking to the damn squirrels.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Good with it.
That's exactly what would happen. Like I firmly believe, like I used to work at UK. I firmly believe that place has more squirrels than humans. And
We have more foxes than humans as well.
really?
Foxes used to follow me home from school.
Why?
That would scare the shit out of me.
Did you feed them?
They just come up to you and you can pet them. They're
Why?
everywhere.
That's not a Faust. That's not a pet dog.
They're cute. They're cute.
Squirrel Girl versus Apocalypse.
So okay, but
She
what
would
I
win.
loved about your Squirrel Girl comment is you had that cocked in ready. Like if they asked me what show I want to see made, Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl, done and done.
Squirrel Girl.
They're like-
God damn it, I'm doing that one.
There are like several. Like I want to see Clarion made into a TV show as well, but made by BBC, and that would never happen.
No, it would never happen.
God, I'd go with The Killing Joke. Like I would just want to see like a 4-part miniseries. Like each part of it's maybe a half hour
so
long or
dark.
something like that. No, I mean I don't need to be like a long. That's why I say like a miniseries. It doesn't necessarily like the Joker would make it funny.
I want to
That's
see
what I
Green
said.
Lantern get turned into a show.
That's
what I want to
so okay. Are we talking about like ongoing characters, or are we just
Yeah,
picking up
ongoing
stories?
character shows. Yeah.
Okay. God, the Green Lantern would be a good one.
Yeah.
And it'd
There
be
was
great for TV.
talks about them turning Diggle on Arrow into Jon Stewart Green Lantern, but I don't see that happening.
I had heard about that. I had heard that rumor. I think he would make a great Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Oh, he would do a great job with it, but it would destroy the lore so much
Yeah.
that everyone was like, no! You know?
At no point did that ever happen, you know, and so on. But
Yeah.
like Diggles was created for the show, wasn't he?
Yeah, but now he's been put into the comics, and there's jokes about him. Oh, well, you know, if it comes out, he'll just be named John Diggle Stewart.
God, in terms of like ongoing characters, if we were going to feature him in a TV show, I mean, I'd probably want to see like Nightwing, like Dick Grayson as Nightwing, in Bloodhaven.
There's an amazing YouTube show about that. I don't know if you've seen it.
Uh-uh.
Oh,
Yeah,
he tweeted us.
saw
The
it.
guy who did it. He was tweeting and trying to get us to retweet it. That show blew up on its own. This is before we had any kind of like following at all. But
Wow.
it was amazing, that show.
Yeah, no,
They did a
I'd
great.
want to see it like with him based in Bloodhaven is what I'd want to see because I like the idea of Nightwing having like his own city that he tries to protect because the city is just like a total nightmare. But I like that he had I guess until it was destroyed by Deathstroke. But I would like to see like his own like him in his own city doing his own thing, like trying to be like Batman but not quite making it. Like I think that would be.
That's the.
I would like
plot
to
of
see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like.
See, I would like to see a Nightwing show if he was sexualized on the level that women are sexualized, because that's the kind of like the point of his character.
Oh my God, man! All this gender equality shit. Let me tell you, I don't want to hear about equal rights.
Have you ever seen the joke? Speaking of sexuality, have you ever seen the joke thing that if they gender swapped Power Girl, what it would look like?
No.
Wouldn't it just look like Power Boy from the Titans?
No, what they did was the joke was because obviously the boob window's here, it would be a penis window, but it would be just above it, so you would just see like the tip, like that'd be the end of it.
So pube window, really?
Yeah, a pube window, basically. Yeah.
There is underwear from Andrew Christian that exists exactly like that. Not that I know or anything, but.
Is that what you're wearing the weekends, Faust? the pube window.
No, when I'm going out with friends, just put on something nice.
I just pull up the pube window underwear and go to town.
Oh God! Hold on. Are you talking about underwear made of pubes? Is that what you just said?
No, it's the window around your pubes is cut out.
Oh, what the fuck? How does that make sense?
It would be the gender swapped version of Power Girl because her boobs are hanging.
Oh yeah, your pubes.
It'd be a pube window.
I don't want to see that.
See,
Nobody wants to see
the
that.
pube window.
See, but if I'm honest about the whole Nightwing situation, it's not really about gender equality and stuff. It's just, as a gay man, I find Nightwing really attractive.
Well, all right, but see, like I never got in like even Nightwing just as like a character. Like, I think the biggest problem that DC had, like, if they're going to adapt it into a TV show, sure, do the whole, gender equality thing. But the problem that I had was when they came out with Nightwing, they said, okay, he was Robin, then he broke away from Batman's shadow, then he became Nightwing, but he's still, like, trying to be Batman. Make him his own person. Let him do his own thing. Don't make him try to be a spinoff of Batman. Like, give him his own real thing. And that's
he's always had his own real thing, though, for the most part. I mean, it's always been an attempt at it.
Yeah, but it's always at the end of the day, it's always coming back to he's trying to be like Batman.
Well, you're never going to get away from that, though. Dick Grayson will always live in the shadow, and I think, honestly, that's one of the attempts they're making with Grayson. To finally say, okay, everyone loves this guy, and we can't kill him or anything like that. So let's try something unique on it. Let's make him a secret agent who works for Batman.
And I've just loved Dick Grayson as Nightwing my whole life. Never had a problem with him living in the shadow of Batman. And Grayson, I can't fucking stand.
I tried the first two issues, and I'm not behind Grayson at all.
I've heard that, man. But
I've heard so much good stuff about Grayson that I kind of want to check it out again. Give it a second shot, grab the first trade or something like that. But
see, when I was doing all my research about Dick Grayson, like I was going through and I was looking at like the origins and trying to clear stuff up, and I stumbled across a Comic Vine thread where somebody had asked, "What do people think about the new series Grayson?" And this was like it was like you, like when it just came out, people were just like, "This sucks." Like he's not Nightwing. That was basically the complaint that everybody had. Like he's not Nightwing.
Well, yeah, they're taking the same character with the same history and all, and they're like, "Oh, now he's a completely different character."
Yeah,
we're just gonna do that.
Yeah, and people didn't like that, but nonetheless, somebody had a really good comment where they said, "Bring back Samurai Jack." I am 100% behind that. Samurai Jack was such an awesome show. Orlando Jones, I think, did the voice of Samurai Jack, and he was amazing.
To be fair, there was so little talking in the show, they could have changed the voice every episode and you just would not have noticed.
You'd never notice. But Samurai Jack was a great show. Like, I remember they had a little mini film, I think they came on Cartoon Network. It was like half an hour long, and they actually launched the TV show. But anyway, people were asking about the Daredevil trailer. Have you guys seen that yet?
Yeah.
No, I avoid trailers for things I'm actually looking forward to.
Well, that doesn't help at all.
It's actually pretty good. I like the direction they're taking with Kingpin. It seems like they're making Kingpin more human, as opposed to in the comics where he's just like, blarg, I'm the king of crime in Hell's Kitchen, blarg. And
well, that's kind of his character, though. He's always supposed to be larger than life, the large king, jokingly about his weight, but the largest king of crime kind of guy, you know?
But see, like, they're toning that down. Like, they're toning down. Well, I mean, one, you probably couldn't get a person that could physically be the size of the Kingpin of the comics and be able to do anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. You could easily get that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
just...
I live in the Midwest over here, man. You just go to the nearest Golden Corral and buffet, and you'll find like a dozen kingpins. I'm just saying.
Go there on a Sunday, man. After church, you see all kinds.
Exactly.
All kinds of shit. Phil Lamar, that's who it was. Thank you, not Orlando Jones. That
Like,
was,
I don't know what's better, going to Golden Corral on a Sunday afternoon or going to Walmart any day of the week.
Oh god, man. It's hilarious going to like a Golden Corral, because I haven't been to Golden Corral in forever. But like we used to go there on Sundays after church, man. It was almost as bad as Ryan's. Like it was a madhouse. Like you walk in there and there's like three things that you see. One, children running around with nobody knowing what the hell they're doing. They're just running around screaming, grabbing food and shit. Two, it's the old ladies that just can't move fast enough. Like they get up there and they get their scoop of macaroni and cheese and they put it on their plate, and then they shuffle over to the green beans. And they get their scoop of green beans. Like, get your shit and put it on the plate and get the fuck out of the line.
Boom!
Like,
I want my food.
That's it. Like that's how it works when you go to. I know you guys probably don't have buffets up there in Scotland, Faust, but
we do.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you guys know how it works.
Yeah, but like, I was living in San Francisco for 6 months a few years ago, and I was there and I was like, oh, I guess the stereotype of overweight Americans isn't true. And then I went out the city and I was like, okay, it is in some areas.
Oh, it is, man. I can tell you.
Oh, it is. It
right
depends
now.
where you go. But I mean, you forgot the best part about going to Golden Corral on a Sunday, though, Rob. That there's no food there, and the only food that is there is the three largest people in the entire building have got 2 plates apiece, littered with it. We went to Golden Corral the other day because I have family visiting from overseas, and they wanted to see the American buffet style. So to Golden Corral, and I had a big sign. They're like, fish tacos, fish tacos. I'm like, all right, I can go get a fish taco. That's cool. Whatever. Yeah. So I go over there, and not once was there a goddamn fish taco. Not once. It was always empty.
Yeah, man, that was a fucking. I hated that, man. Like when I go to a buffet, man, like I want to eat. I don't want to wait on food. Like I want that food to be there. It doesn't have to be the warmest food in the world. It can be lukewarm. That's fine, especially when you get around to like the meat.
It can be soupy and undercooked and taste horrible.
Man, but it needs to be there, man.
What weirded me out about America was how big your buffets are. Like in England, they're relatively small. There's enough food to like put on your plate and have a good time. But like in America, there's like a whole ballroom just filled with food.
Yeah, man. That's how
you think that's bad? I went to Vegas for a trip to a Final Fantasy 14 festival. I went to the Final Fantasy thing, Faust, which you probably know about since you play the game. Yeah. We went to Vegas, and they have the Vegas buffets. Every food in the world is just at your disposal, and it literally is the size of a ballroom.
Did you look for haggis?
No, we didn't look for haggis.
No, they did have haggis, because I remember seeing it and being like, I am not trying that in a buffet. Like, I've never had it before, and a buffet will not be the first time I try haggis.
No way. I'm not going to order something like haggis and sitting out for like 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Sheep's intestines shoved into its own like insides. Yeah, let's trust that at a buffet. Yeah.
Isn't that the point of buffets though? To just try something new without really worrying about paying for it?
Let me ask you this:
what you already love.
You know what? Another thing that you avoid at every buffet: the sushi.
Oh, not me, man.
Do not get sushi at a buffet.
I go to a Chinese buffet, man. I will wreck that sushi. Like I promise.
No, at a Chinese buffet, they're keeping it right. Don't go to Golden Corral and get their sushi.
No, man. Like you'll die.
Back up a bit. You get sushi at buffets in America.
You can, yes.
Yeah, man. You got so much to learn about the United States.
I wouldn't eat it, but you can get it.
See, I don't live in Scotland anymore. I live like close to London. There's Chinatown here. I have never seen sushi in a buffet.
Wow.
Your Chinatown's not real, man.
Yeah, you don't have the real Chinese food stuff. But anyway, okay. So back to the topic of comics.
How off topic can we get?
Talking about buffets, man.
It's my curse.
Food
I'm sorry.
Explained. They
American
have officially
Food
renamed your channel, Rob.
Food Explained. That would be an awesome thing. Like
dude, you should do that. That should be, because you were trying to talk about trying to launch a secondary channel like I've got with the gaming stuff. You should do Food Explained, and all it should be is you trying out things.
Just like cooking things?
Not even cooking. Just go someplace and try out food. Just... Hey guys, it's Rob. So I got this.
Man, fuck you. That's not how I laugh. Whatever, man.
And it could be anything from like going to It could be anything from like going to Red Lobster, trying their food, or just buying like a frozen pizza.
Exactly. Today we're going to try DiGiorno. Tomorrow is going to be the Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster, and the day after that we're going to go to Chinatown and I'm going to eat cat.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, if I did a video explaining Cheddar Bay biscuits, like nothing would get done. I would just be like, "Give me one more." Like after this biscuit, we'll start talking about it, and then it would be like all
one
the
more
time.
biscuit. Just one more biscuit.
Just one more biscuit, and we'll get finished. Those things are so good, but they're so terrible for you. That is an awesome idea. Just like food explained.
You do just go eat. Just be like, yep. Viewers, would you watch Rob just eat food and say like, yeah, this cheeseburger at Wendy's was amazing?
Nom. No, I think it'd be fun to like cook food and just call it
Food, comics, boobs. They're going over what we've talked about in this episode of the week.
That's 3 topics: food, comics, and boobs.
Dude, you should rename the title to that. Food,
Comics, and boobs.
We just need to add. We just need to add in butts and movies, and then we have a full pentagram.
Okay, so let's talk about butts. Who's got an amazing butt?
Oh, I know
Dick
somebody
Grayson.
that has a really amazing butt.
I was about to say, I got a weird feeling if we go into the butts region, the preferences will be completely different from all of us.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to talk about comic book character butts because that comes out creepy. Like, oh, you guys know who has a really amazing butt? Like Rogue, man.
What's wrong with Rogue's butt?
I think I get away with it because my body hasn't aged since I was like 16. So when I do it, it's like I look like a young fanboy. When actually it's kind of creepy when you know my age.
Like when I first went to your channel, like Benny was like, "Hey man, like you should check out Super Effective," and I was like, "Okay." And so like I went to your channel and checked it out, and I'm like, "This guy's like 14 years old." Like no way.
I'm in my mid-20s.
Yeah, I know that now, but I didn't know that then. I was like, "There's no way that's true."
Faust age explained.
Yeah, Faust age explained.
I remember watching one of your older videos, Faust, and like you had lost some weight by going to the gym, and everyone's like, "Did Faust get sickly?" And you're like, "That's what happens when you go to the gym."
Did Faust get sickly? Oh man.
I even got one message because I've been open about like I mentioned once in one of my AMAs like I used to have an eating disorder, and someone messaged me like 5 paragraphs about don't give in, don't go back to your old ways. It's like, no, I'm exercising.
Yeah, I'm trying. Rob's going to the gym too, but I'm trying to get back into my military like regiment. I broke both my ankles in the military myself, so I tried I got out a year and a half ago now, and I tried to maintain the weight loss, but without running or doing anything like elliptical or crap, because that's just impossible. So I've given in. I just do.
So that limits you to like swimming.
But there's nowhere to swim around here because it's Colorado and it's all ice cold. There's no beaches, so like I was pretty much just trying to like CrossFit with like push-ups and crap. Like it just wasn't.
Dude. I've seen those CrossFit Championship, man. Like those CrossFit tournaments, those are freaking nuts.
So now we got food, comics, movie. No, we haven't done movies yet. Food, comics, boobs, butts, and gym. Put that in the title.
And gym. Like that's what's so awesome about having Faust on here. Each time Faust has been on here, we've never been on topic.
It's my curse. You know,
But it's an interesting curse. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I don't think it's a curse at all. Like I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, no, anyway, so back onto the topic of of comics. No, with Daredevil, I like what they're doing, like at least what they seem to be doing with the Netflix series. I like Kingpin, who's more real world, which is what they're going for with all their Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. They're going for like more real world depictions of comic book characters. You're not going to find a man who's going to be 7 feet tall and 600 pounds. And if you did, then that guy's a freaking hoss. But you know, the Vincent D'Onofrio, more toned down, darker, sinister. Yes, I'm a little bit human, but I've also got like a really screwed up dark side kind of character. I think is cool. What they're going to do with Matt Murdock, I don't know, kind of depends. But in truth, and I'll be honest with you guys, it wouldn't surprise me if this happens. I could see Kingpin completely outshining Daredevil in his own series. People are just like, oh my god,
they're not going to make a Kingpin series.
No. I'm not talking about a Kingpin solo series. I'm saying outshining Deadpool in their Daredevil in the Daredevil series. Like people are going to watch the show and be like, oh my god, like Kingpin is the best part of this show, as opposed to Daredevil himself. But again,
I
what
can
they're
see
going to
that.
do. So
Kind of like the Dark Knight Returns, where Joker was, everyone loves him more.
yeah. No, of course we're not going to make a Kingpin. Why would they make a Kingpin solo series? What would be the purpose behind that?
I don't know. It could be The Sopranos. Imagine a Kingpin solo series set up like The Sopranos.
Well, as long as the ducks come back at the end, then that's fine. So I don't want to watch the Kingpin eating and then the show cut to an end.
Isn't Iron Fist supposed to come out this year as well?
I think all the Netflix shows are supposed to come out this year. Like
Okay.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. I think they're spaced out so they don't conflict with the release
other?
of Age of Ultron. Yeah, each other and Ant-Man. But I don't think Marvel's really, in truth, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think Marvel's putting a whole lot of stock behind Ant-Man. I think they're kind of like, I think it works out, but I think they're just kind of like, if it doesn't, well, then just fuck it. And just not worried about it.
The whole
I agree with you on that. What I think they're doing is they're treating it like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, yeah, they hyped Guardians of the Galaxy like they're doing with Ant-Man, but you saw more Guardians of the Galaxy after it came out and it sold like crazy. Then you saw 2 comic series. They popped up everywhere. They were all over the place,
Well, but see, that's the thing. Like Ant-Man solo series, Ant-Man #1, where Scott Lang is like trying to get a job and stuff like that. Like it's just not selling. Like people just don't really care. I mean, #1 debuted at like number 9 or number 10 on the charts or something like that. So it just wasn't like people just didn't really care. And the reason for that is because no one really cares about Scott Lang. People think of Ant-Man, they think of Hank Pym, and that's really it. So.
I just commented in the thing they were talking about hentai. And I said, "You guys want hentai explained dramatically?" And then the tentacles came out of nowhere.
Dude, that's sick. That's disgusting. Cartoon porn explained. That's disgusting.
If we're gonna do that, I will do the sections on yaoi, all the hardcore yaoi specifically.
We're gonna make that channel, Cartoon Porn Explained.
Oh, okay. Jessica Jones comes out later this year. The other ones come out next year. Okay.
I'll do all the cat girls, Faust. You can do the yaoi. I'll do the cat girls.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
We're talking cartoon porn now.
Oh well. In that case, I'll just read the comments. Which will start turning into comments about cartoon porn here in a little bit.
It's all going to reflect itself in a minute, Rob. So what are you trying to do?
I want to know, I wish that I could make like a clone of myself and just like go visit our viewers like while we're talking in the podcast, because I want to know what they're doing. Like somebody says something funny and they're just like, okay, like what should I say? Like everything explained, and like just type that into the chat. I don't know. Oh man. But yeah,
hold on, I got it. I'm doing it. There. I joined into that comment field. How Rob comes up with topics, explain.
How Rob comes up with topics.
Going back to the TV shows, I'll be interested to see how they do the Iron Fist show, because there's like rumors floating around that they're doing it like a 70s martial arts movie, which I really fucking hope is true.
I hope that's true.
They need to do it like Kung Pao. Did anybody see Kung Pao?
Oh yes, man.
Gopher Chucks.
Yes.
Or Rush Hour. If they do it like Rush Hour, I'll be really happy.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait a minute, Kung Pao. No, I was thinking of Kung Fu Hustle is what I was thinking of.
No, Kung Pao like he has Gopher Chucks and he's like a baby. Yeah. Emma Frost boobs explained. If you made that, it'd be your biggest video. I'm telling you right.
It would be. Emma Frost boobs explained. Like just explain how her boobs have changed in size over the years. You know what? I could do that. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to do that one day. Like, we'll probably do that tomorrow.
Well, why is this a meme? Let me explain.
Yeah, Emma Frost boobs. Like, we're going to explain Emma Frost breasts over the course of her continuity in Marvel Comics.
To go back to comics. We are talking comics. Emma Frost boobs are an important comic book topic.
They are an important thing. Rob's clones explained.
Do it for your April 1st video.
That's a great idea.
Man, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta get it done now because I gotta cover Secret Wars and Convergence. Just cover like the breasts of comic book characters in Marvel Comics and DC Comics. Starfire's breasts explained.
Now that we've oh wait. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our usual time sync and everything like that. So let's talk about a movie real quick. Has anybody seen Chappie yet?
No. Is it good?
No.
Okay. All right then. So then we discussed a movie. So you can. Power Girl's boobs explained. You can explain that one and how she's never had a symbol. Let me ask you this. Okay, hold on. Before we go fast, how do you feel about Power Girl putting the Superman symbol over that and that becoming her new symbol?
I hate it.
It ruins Power Girl. Like you can't outright declare her a member of the super family like that.
No, she's like she's Kryptonian, but she's not a member of the super family. No. Point blank, and she never will be. I give it like 3 years maximum.
Well, you know, story-wise, it's cool. I liked the moment in which they did that. Then they changed her costume to reflect that, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I give it 3 years. There'll be another retcon.
Well, no, they only lasted 1 year last time with their current costume, where it was like all white with the big P right here.
It's true.
And then they pulled that away because everyone was complaining. Yeah, they recovered her boobs again, guys.
Frost versus Gray, the boob wars. Like, just like have a competition, like whose boobs are better.
Dude, that's a great idea for a show. Just do that. Just be like,
idea.
all right, so we're gonna decide whose boobs are better. Here's your competition. Whose butts are better. Here's your competition.
That is an awesome idea, like boobs versus butts.
Who's got stronger powers? And then you rotate it so you don't get creepy. So it'd be like, whose boobs are better? Whose butts are better? Then it'd be like, whose powers are better? Who's more telepathically capable? Who's got the better bra size? Who's got? You're just sneaking right back in there. You just come right back.
Oh my god!
Full circle.
You know what? We're gonna do that. You know why not? You know what? Why not? Fuck it. At this point, I can just kind of throw whatever. I can just.
And you could call it boobs and battles.
Yeah,
Boobs battles.
Battles of the boobs or something like that.
Battles of the. Oh my, that would probably be your best performing show.
Oh yeah, Battle of the Boobs.
If you just compared boobs and just let the audience decide, here's these boobs. They are an A cup. They are known to sag slightly.
You can kind of see the nipples.
You can kind of see the nipples. Here are some great shots of them. Here's some fake nude pictures of them. They aren't real though. Now we have
some fake nudes.
I just had this vision of boobs like punching each other as if they're like boxing gloves.
And on that note, guys, thank you for joining us for another weird episode of the Weekly Pull.
Oh man.
There is a Japanese video there's a Japanese anime that I watched where they did have boob battles like that. It wasn't actually porn. It was just battling boobs. I'm just
Well, it came out of Japan, so you know. Like I saw this meme. It was like 91% of the weirdest shit comes out of Japan.
It was the plot behind it was in a feudal age of Japan in which boobs were considered like the most glorified thing in the world. So women battled with boob techniques, and when they won, they would absorb the boobs of other women. So their boobs would get bigger, and other girls would go flat chested.
Oh
wow! The next season of Sailor Moon sounds great.
All right, guys. I think we should end it here because we're just totally off kilter. We'll be back next week if we have a topic. We'll be back to normal. Otherwise, it's been another episode of the Weird Pull.
Yes.
I'm dubbing it. Whenever we do these videos, it's got to be the Weird Pull from now on, so people know what they're getting into when they come into this podcast.
It's a dangerous world.
When we don't have a topic, it's the Weird Pull, and that's the one that Faust is always on. The Weird Pull.
It's not my fault. It's really not.
It is Faust's fault entirely.
If it was Rob, we would be debating because I was just researching Venom. We'd probably be talking Venom and Spider-Man. Faust is here. Boob battles.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys. We're going to bounce off here.
All right. You guys have a great time. I'm Comic Storian. That is Comics Explained. That is It's Super Effective. Go check out all the channels. And make sure you go check out our website, theweeklypull.net, where you can chat with us all on the forums. Faust will eventually start actually responding to his forum. Eventually. But you can chat with us all over there. Follow us on Twitter at The Weekly Pull. And very soon we will be launching our Hitbox channel, which is where the podcast will be moving to. So keep your ears to the ground and follow us all on Twitter or our channel so you know when that happens. Yep. We will see you guys next time. And any other send-offs?
No. I guess the only thing I'll say before we bring this podcast to an end is that we'll say that the thing that Nick Fury said to Thor is that Thor is not actually the son of Odin. Catch you guys later.